Evening, guys. Okay. Um, I know I've been away for a minute, and I know you're sick and tired of it, but get used to it. I've got a lot of things to cover here, so I'm going to try to make this fast. So I hope all of y'all are here and ready to cover some things. Um, what's most pressing? Uh, well, Trump was sentenced today. I forget exactly what they call it. It's basically he was sentenced without having to serve or do anything or pay any fines or anything. Um, I gotta look this up here as to what exactly it's called. Um, it's an unconditional something or other. Basically they only let him go because one, it was a stupid case to begin with, and they've politically persecuted the guy from day one, and they just wanted the dog and pony show. So um, I just suspect him to pardon himself once he gets in office. You know, because he's technically a felon, and he's lost some constitutional rights. So in order to get those back, you have to expunge a record, and uh, if he gets a pardon from himself, then it's gone. So what? He's a convicted felon for what? 10 days, 12 days, something like that. Whoop de doo, you know. Um, so that happened today. Another big thing happening with California is, you guys know, the fires are be charming. He can pardon himself. He'll become president. He can do that. He can expunge a record. He just has to do it via executive order. Um, anyway, I want to talk about the fires in California. I don't need to show you really much of anything other than Newsom basically hung himself politically. Um, so they diverted all the water months or years ago, I don't know which, to save a little fish called the smelt. And that's a little tiny, like minnow looking fish that nobody cares about. Um, so all the reservoirs dried up because of that, which means they had no water to fight the fires. And a lot of the fires in California uh, were worse because of this. The fire hydrants were empty. Okay. Some worked, some did not. Now, the mayor was out of town, and I won't blame her for being out of town. What I will blame her for doing or not doing is, for as much taxes as those Californians pay, I would expect them to have working fire hydrants, full reservoirs, and a fully staffed police department and fire department and such, where they were chronically understaffed. They did not have working equipment. They were stretched thin. They were hung out to dry. Okay. Um, so another thing, and we're going down a bit of a rabbit hole here. Okay. You notice where these things are happening in terms of natural disasters. Can anyone elaborate on that? Okay, I'm going to try to walk you down this rabbit hole here for a second. Okay, it has to do with the boards here. Okay, blue states? No, it's not blue states. These natural disasters have happened in North Carolina, those are red states, California. Okay, remember when I did the North Carolina Hurricane Helene breakdown as to where was hit and why and such? The Vanderbilt house was hit there, or the Vanderbilt estate, and I dug into that real quick. Okay. Why are these fires hitting Hollywood? I don't know. Epstein Island, the Diddy tapes, um, covering up the tunnels. Uh, Same principle as to why they did 9/11, hiding the FISAs. Well, now they gotta hide the stuff that I cannot mention. That gave me basically nightmares. The stuff of nightmares for little people. Um, do you really think it's a coincidence that only these places are being attacked or covered up or washed away, burnt down? Hello. No, it's not a coincidence, okay? They are destroying the evidence because they know Trump is on a warpath to destroy their, well, basically not only their lives but the system as we know it, which that's fine in my book. Um, they are covering it up. Okay, it's it's not that hard to wrap your head around. I've gone down these rabbit holes for years. Um, okay, let's see here. I don't need to necessarily go into anything here. I just typed in Hollywood for the hell of it. We know that they've all uh, done things. Okay. Oh, floor 7. That's a good one. If you don't know what floor 7 is, I'm sorry. I'm not going over it again. It's secret shit. Let's see here. Yeah. Why are you skipping here? Hold on. Really? No posts for strange. Um, a little bit strange as to how smoothly J6 went. That's another thing. Okay. Uh, they confirmed Trump like right away. They didn't bitch, cry, or moan. At least not openly. Maybe mentally and inside, sure. But they know that their time is up and they better do it. Otherwise, they're gonna have um, a real thing that they tried to blame the first thing that happened on J6 on, if that makes sense. Read between the lines, people. Um, so they are trying to cover up the evidence with everything that has gone on. Huh. Huh. Yeah. Remember when the fires hit California the first time around years ago? I went into the flags and all that. Who was who? There was a bunch of neighbors in this neighborhood that ended up arresting, or citizens arrest, a guy on a bicycle with a blowtorch just the other day. Like current, I'm talking current events here. Um, Not what I'm showing you on my screen. Um, they detained him because they are now thinking that he was the cause of the what they're calling the Eaton fire, which is just east of the Palisade fire in California. Um, Gavin Newsom has refused to clean up the. Oh, here's more of that shit. Great. Has refused to clean up the forests of any of the deadfall, which made it prime. Uh, well, prime real estate for wildfires. Okay, it was just waiting to happen. Okay. Um, hmm, wait a minute. Huh. Thought my brain was going down a rabbit hole there. Uh, I don't know why Trump was so buddy buddy with Obama at Carter's funeral, but the enemy of my enemy is my friend, I would assume. Let's see here. I'm not being triggered by any of these posts here. Nothing's sticking out to me. Huh. Don't you just love the symbolism? Uh, so that's what's up with the fires, or at least my thoughts on it. Um, is it a real estate grab? I don't think so. I think it's more of a they got shit to hide. Okay. And at the very minimum, it's a look over here, not over there kind of moment. Okay. They want you distracted. Okay. Um, let's see what else. Trump wants to rename the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America because technically we own most of those waters. Um, he wants to retake the Panama Canal because Carter sold the Panama Canal to Panama back in, I think, the 70s. No, 80s. Um, he wants to control that again because it would be more economically viable. Supposedly, China is in the Gulf of Mexico, which is kind of scary, actually. And they harass our naval ships out there. Um, they want to shut down. I forget what he called it. Hold on. Uh, hold on. It's the gap between Panama and South America. I forget what it's called. The Darien Gap. Yeah, here. Hold on.
Close the Darien Gap for border security. Tom Homan announces plan to shut down the Darien Gap for national security reasons. The Darien Gap is a perilous jungle crossed by hundreds of thousands of migrants yearly.
To basically put this into perspective as to how dangerous this area is, I watch a channel called, I know it's going to sound weird, called Itchy Boots. And it's this lady that goes and it basically she explores the world on a motorcycle, an off-road motorcycle. She's been to Africa. She's now in South America, and she actually went through this gap on her motorcycle, and it literally was a footpath from the Panama Canal to South America. There is no road per se that we know of. It is very thick, dense jungle, and this footpath was basically crossing, I think, over 120-year-old train track that was made for a mining cart out there somewhere. It's so remote. Uh, but basically, this is where all the migrants are coming through, and rightfully, in my opinion, we should shut this shit down.
Shutting the gap aims to deter migrants from dangerous journeys through the Panamanian jungle. The closure is part of Trump's broader strategy to enhance U.S. southern border security. Stay updated with us.
Yeah. So that was just as of an hour ago. Let's see what else. Trump wants to buy Greenland. Most of Greenland, citizen-wise, wants to be American, or has aspirations of at least having laws that kind of go along with Americanization. It would be economically viable. They have a lot of resources there. It would help us fend off Russia. Um, since Trudeau is now out of office, Trump is considering Canada to be the 51st state, which, in my opinion, that's a big ass state. I would have broken it up to multiple states like it is with the provinces, and, you know, like what? How many provinces are there? What, five? I think. So, like, have 55 states instead of like 51, because that's a lot of land. That's a lot of whatever. Either way, how many ever provinces? I would keep the borders the same. That way people aren't fucking confused. We don't want to confuse the Canadians. They're already confused about bacon. You know, ham is not bacon. So, um, I would love for Canada to become part of the United States. It would be fucking amazing, because then I could go across to Toronto and visit some old friends that I never get to see because I don't have a passport. Um, yeah, and then not have to worry about that shit. It would also be good for national security, um, being that we have a lot of Chinese spies in Canada, on the west side of Canada anyway. That would be good to get them the fuck out of there. Um, would open up a lot of resources, not just for like logging reasons, but just land, man. Like, take it while we can get it. Not that I want to invade Canada. Like, I wouldn't be for that, taking it by force. But if Canada wants to be a part of the fucking equation here, by all means, just keep your liberal ideas to yourself. Uh, that means you, Trudeau. So, do I have any Canadians in here? I want to know. Used to have one Canadian come up here, rage wherever the fuck you're at. You're Canadian? Well, good on you. Uh, north of me in Michigan here. Don't give me that. Anne is from Canada? Okay. So either way, like, I'm all I mean, I don't see really anything bad about it, other than the influx of American citizens. I mean, that's fine, but who's bugging me on the phone here? Hold on. What the hell? What is going on here? Y'all hear me? Hello? We good on the mic? Okay, that was really weird. Okay, what did y'all miss? Okay, where did I leave off here? K9 man. Everything. Yeah, no, again. Basically, uh, be opposed to Canada becoming part of um uh, lot of work. Like we are in the system building a new one in a day. So um give away free land up north. Is it really that vacant in Canada? Like to where there's little so little people just have acres of land? Huh. I don't know what is up with the microphone here. I'm trying my best. Mic is in and out. Uh, they don't like me talking about things. I don't know why. My microphone's showing that it's okay on my end. Uh, yeah, it's having a hard time with the streaming. Yeah, it could be the storm that I'm having with the whole Nightwing says it's could be the way I'm talking too. Kind of think the judge is in on it with Trump because of the end. He wished him Godspeed, and you know those people didn't. Uh, Roxanne, I would think that the judge did it for the dog and pony show factor. Um, More of like, I have to sentence Trump, otherwise people are going to come after me. But I can't actually punish him either because then those people will be after me. So, yeah, there could be that too. So, I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Had to go get a thicker pair of socks. It's freezing in here. So, anyway, um, y'all hear me okay? And such. Okay, why are we putting ones in chat? Okay, y'all are being weird. Anyway, let me drop the invite and we'll see where this goes. We'll have a bit of discussion as to what's gone on in the last week or so here. Let's see here. Do I have any videos here to show? Oh, you put on a hat.
I had a hat on before. This one got hairs all over it now that the cat's been playing with it.
Uh.
This is a bunkie hat.
Looks like a mobster hat. Or there's you know what? There's a guy on YouTube called the Carpetbagger, and he goes around and shows these old little towns and a whole bunch of states and that. He wears a hat like that. Kind of looks like you.
Yeah, when you were on mine, I had to turn your mic all the way up.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why everybody could hear you over there.
Let me see here. Do I sound okay now?
It's about the same. It just sounds like you're speaking up a little bit.
Yeah, I kind of am. Let me see here.
Yeah, since the last update,
Is that any better?
I've been having to fix my when I go live. I always usually Dana B tells me you need to turn your mic up.
Is that any better?
Oh, that's better.
Okay. I turned off the reduced background noise and turned up my mic value. So, okay. So do you think the California fires are a cover-up for some things that we've discussed in the past, if you know what I mean?
They have fires every year.
I know, but the specific location.
The only reason that it's everybody's talking about it is because celebrities are losing their houses.
I couldn't give two flying fucks if they lose their house or not.
I mean,
I'm saying the location. Like, what is this
Paris
covering?
Hilton lost her house. Okay, she probably has 15 of them.
Right. James Woods.
What's that dude on Friends that died mysteriously?
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Perry. Was it Perry?
I don't know.
Anyway, his house is supposed to have been burned up too. And I'm like, well, he's dead. I don't know who else owns it, but it's like, I don't think he cares. Yeah, Matthew Perry. Okay, yeah. And there's a few others that I don't care. I care if somebody loses their house, but I mean, there's people when they lose their house, they don't have insurance to pay for their house. These people have enough money in their bank to where, oh, well, I'll just go to my other house on the beach or something.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
I'm not saying it's about, oh, they lost their house. It's about a are they trying to cover something up in terms of things that I've talked about with underground tunnels and people, and
Well,
you see where I'm getting
California,
at?
California, the underground stuff is not. It's not that great because
No, it's
all the
too
earthquakes.
it's too much full of shell. I mean, you disrupt that stuff, and it's just that's how all those after the
It doesn't
fires, you're
have
going to see a bunch of
it doesn't
slides.
it doesn't have to be deep underground military bases. I'm talking like tunnels between houses and
Yeah,
like
Oh,
it's
toward the
all
border.
underground railroad type.
it's all shells and shale. It's if you disturb that, it just all goes into the ocean. That's why after the California fires happen, you'll see mudslides.
Yeah.
No,
Not
I'm talking. They're trying to cover up the tunnels.
right, but what I'm saying is you can't really make too much tunnels, being it's all shale and like it just like lets loose. If you disturb it, it just
Oh,
lets
I
loose.
see what you're saying. It crumbles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like
It's
it's not structurally sound. I get it.
that
exactly.
that's and it's the big fault that goes through there. It's like
No, it's a huge fault.
hundreds of earthquakes a
Yeah.
year
Yeah,
or a
I
month
get
even
it.
sometimes.
It's
But
actually pretty sound where the fires are as far as like earthquake, but it's not
yeah,
at the same time. But trust me, I have
but
gone on like
do
what
you
kind of
see?
minerals.
Do
No,
you
I
see?
yeah,
You see what I'm getting at, though? Like,
I
is it?
do.
It's a little bit of a too convenient, if you get what I mean. Being that Trump's gonna be in office in about 11 days or so,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
is this where California finally wakes the fuck up? At
If
least a little bit more than what it was.
I
this is the
think
rerun from 2016.
yeah. Hey Jim.
I mean, if you go back to when he was beforehand, guess what happened? You know, uh, you got the sickness stuff coming over here.
Uh-huh.
Um, what's happening now? Everybody's getting sick, and this happened 2 weeks, and they have 2 weeks to make sure there's no funny business going
Oh, and
on.
by the way, we want to talk about the death fog or no?
Oh
We
Here we
want to do
go.
that or no?
Well,
no!
there was drones, and then there was fog, and now we have
Oh, I
sickness
can
and then
talk about the
fires.
drones now if you want to know about the drones.
I don't really care about the drones. I care more about the fog as to what the fuck it
Well,
was.
the drones were
It's,
looking for
it's called
something.
fog. It's when it's hot and then it cools off
I
at
I, I,
nighttime
under,
and
I, under,
fog appears.
I understand what fog is, but this was a different fog, and I even experienced it myself here. It smelled like chemicals.
A lot of people mentioned that, and then a lot of people, yeah, all over from
It
UK to India to
it was
US.
weird because happened to me the night after y'all mentioned it on my stream. Like, did you hear about the fog? And then it rolls in. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, then a lot of people came down with different things. Like,
And I was coughing uh, that night and the nights after that. My mom got sick. So it's like, I'm over here like, fuck this shit,
It's
you
all
know?
that Diet Coke.
No,
As you
actually,
know,
Diet Coke helps my cough. It prevents the shit, actually.
we
Yeah,
haven't
but
had
I guarantee
sickness like
you, if
that.
you stop drinking that Diet Coke, you'll get a cough, and you'll say, "Oh, the only way I can get rid of it is to drink that Diet Coke."
We
Yeah.
haven't had the flu since what, 2013? And we had it, and it was like a onion. The whole illness was like an onion. It just came in layers, and it was ridiculous. It's like
I
yeah.
I haven't had a head cold since '03 until 2 weeks ago, and thank goodness I'm over it. Like, I
Yeah.
wonder if y'all want to want something. The first time you ever had me on your panel, you told me I had a Canadian accent, and I've never even been in Canada.
I don't hear it in you right now.
It could be the video camera,
Could be.
the mic.
Yeah.
This is a little better than the old Logitech, but not much.
So, do you guys think Canada will become part of the United States? Yes or no?
I don't think all of Canada will, but I think maybe some of it might.
My guess is if you were to draw a straight line from like the top of what is it? Wisconsin? Yeah, straight over the peninsula, UP of Michigan, and like cut off Toronto and go straight over to Maine. I would say that that part would become part of the United States because 90% of Canadians live below that line.
Well, what was it? Like Trump talked to Trudeau for like a week before Trudeau decided he was going to leave. Is that how it went?
I don't know.
Right?
Something like that. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, they had a meeting and then he gave his resignation.
But the more interesting thing is if Canada does become part of the United States, we are the biggest country. We're bigger than Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Land area.
As in territory.
Yeah, landmass.
Yeah, land.
And then if we bring Greenland into the fold, my God.
Yeah.
Well,
There's
Canada has provinces, though, right? Is that what they're
Yeah,
called?
provinces. Yes.
yeah. Because it stretches way up in there.
My question is, how the fuck are we going to have the manpower to patrol that size of a border like that?
We already do.
It would
That
be-
was his whole point. We already do. We're spending billions just doing that.
I know.
Billions of dollars every year
Mm-hmm.
for Canada. It's just
I
not
know.
for the
Yeah.
United States. We're patrolling the Canada side, not on the border of United States. It's on the top side and the sides and all over.
Yeah, up in the Arctic Circle, like type
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, the ocean and the air.
Yeah. You remember the stupid balloon thing. Our planes were first there in Canada because we were there.
Yeah, so like we're up in like up here. I didn't realize like if we're talking magnetic north, I didn't realize Greenland was north of Canada.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I always thought it was to the side cuz
Well,
or like more to the side if
Well,
you're
like-
talking
depends on
east or
if you're
west.
looking at the flat map.
Well,
And
this
I'm
is like,
not saying the world's flat.
right.
The flat map, the one they stick on the wall.
Yeah.
It kind of does look like it's over there.
And
Yeah.
Greenland's a little closer to Russia than we are. We're about 4,900 now. We're about
No.
5,000.
No, we are exactly 50 miles.
Yeah.
No, from
Right.
Greenland.
Right. The
From
people
Greenland.
of Greenland are tired of being under Denmark's rule.
Because Denmark is economically stagnant.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we already patrol all this. And if you look at Canada, like, there's not really much infrastructure as the United States has. If
No. Just in the big cities.
like, if we got a hold of Canada, even just as like a mutual like agreement to be cohesive in a way, next United States, if you will, we could really bolster Canada, man.
British
yeah.
Columbia is beautiful.
Dude, look at all
That's
that.
what Trump was saying. If because we don't need the cars. Well, we do now since Joe did what he did.
Yeah.
Because we were making them here. And he I won't go into that. But anyway, if we stop buying cars from Canada, they go under.
Right. If they're like, that's 20% of Canada's GDP, I think it is, Trump said. But what I was saying was like take from the top of Wisconsin here and go straight over to Maine and cut that off, because 90% of Canadians live down here in Toronto and Ottawa, and the rest are
Yeah, but
over here in Vancouver.
we want the ones that live out in the boonies.
You know the difference between U.S. Bigfoots and Canada Bigfoots? U.S.
What?
says U.S. Bigfoot say whoop. Canada Bigfoot say a.
Eh?
So you know that song I used to play like a long time ago called "Stronger Beer." It was like a diss between Canada and the United States, and like we wouldn't be able to do that anymore. We couldn't talk shit about the Canadians anymore.
Well, what was that show? It was the two guys, Hoser. It was, oh,
Okay, question for my Canadian people. Is this fresh water up here in Manitoba? Or is this salt water or brackish water? Lake Winnipeg. That is a big ass lake.
I think it's all fresh.
That is a big ass lake. Like that rivals, what is that, Superior? Yeah. I should know this.
They're saying fresh.
Dude, do you realize how much fresh water we would have if we got a hold of Canada? Oh my god.
Do you
yeah,
realize how much
Bob
fresh
and Doug.
water we
Bob
already
and Doug.
have?
That's who it was.
Like Trump said, we don't need anything there. It's simply just because of the military. Like,
It'd be cheaper.
it's literally just that. He's like, we don't need their forests. We don't need the milk. We don't need any
Well,
of that.
no. I know we don't
But
need
it's
any of
also the vehicles, like the cars that are being made in Canada and being brought back here. He said we can do that in Detroit,
I
like
know.
we used to.
I'm just looking at Canada, like geographically speaking. Like we don't need any of their forest or anything like Trump said, but to even have the ability to have access to it, if
It's
we
like
need it,
erasing. It's
like that is a
erasing.
big thing.
It's just erasing the invisible line that should
I
have never
know,
been
but
made.
it would be a hell of a lot easier to cross the border.
And
There's
So-
a lot of mining going on in
That
Canada.
would be cheaper.
Alaska.
What did you say, Bushcraft?
Mail would be cheaper because I send.
Yeah.
Because like I had sent Lori's World because she won one of these fire kits that I make. This little thing costs $38 to send to it
Jesus Christ.
to Canada.
So this part here is part of the United States, and you have to cross into Canada and then cross back into the United States to go shopping in this area. That would be nice to just not have to worry about it. When you cross into over here, I think it is it Vermont or New York? There's a crossing
both.
somewhere.
It's we can cross
Niagara
over from
Falls.
here in New York.
So there's a place either way up here that is literally just like a phone booth. You call them and you're like saying, I'm crossing, my name is this, that, and the other thing. Like, why?
We're like 2 hours and 2 minutes, or 2 hours and a few minutes away from Canada.
I have,
We're literally like 2 hours away.
you know what? I'm 2 minutes away.
2 minutes away.
No, I'm not kidding. Like, I could probably be there in 5.
Probably faster if it.
Like, I'm right here in Detroit, so like,
It's going to take you longer with your road rage.
if I make, yeah, like if I don't rage at the border crossing, but that would be nice to just come and go, you know.
Hi, Dixie. Dixie says hello.
Hello, Dixie.
Hey, Dixie.
Well, the people in Canada would appreciate the lower fuel cost and the lower taxes.
Of course.
Oh
we
yeah.
could really bolster Alaska. Like instead of having to deal with what's the highway that goes from
To Alaska.
to Alaska from Washington?
I
I
can't
forget.
remember. I don't know if 101 still go.
Huh?
Or, yeah. 101. Yeah.
What's the matter?
Or they call it Route 1 too. Not 1,
Oh,
2, but 1.
I thought you were talking.
There
I'm
is
up-
it's called Route 1 or it's called Route 101 too.
I thought you were talking about me, not
Yeah.
not the
I was trying to
fucking
put it
highway. I'm like, wait a
so
minute, what?
Yeah, because that's on California. That's the scenic route. I mean, that's the best. Well, it used to be. I don't know anymore, but it goes through the redwood area and all along the beach and stuff.
I watched, you know, the YouTuber guy that has the house, the cabin on the back of his truck. That's I forget his name. Damn it. You'd recognize him if I showed him to you. He just went through all the way up from Vancouver to Anchorage in like the last 3 days. But it would be nice to just have access to that. I don't know.
Did you hear what Roland said? Be nice to get our gun rates back in Canada. You know,
Yeah.
people don't think about this even hard enough. And then Anne says Canadian people are normally nicer. I will say that I have a lot of Canadian family members, but I will tell you, as I used to work with the public a lot, they're horrible tippers and they were always rude.
What, Canadians?
Yeah, but I know a lot of nice ones too. I mean, they're just like other people. There's nice ones, there's rude ones, there's
just like the Popo.
They've got their left and their rights. They're the same as us. They're all human beings.
Yeah.
They have Karens too.
Yes, they do. Oh, yes, they do.
I would just love to be able to like take my truck up into Canada and just explore this shit, man.
You can do
it
that now.
amazing.
You know how expensive it is? Because I know van lifers that go up there. It is expensive for them to be legal to travel in there.
I know, that's what I'm saying is like if they became part of the United States, I would assume all that would be ironed out, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, eventually.
I'm not saying day one, but like it would be easier.
Could you imagine them going over to gallons instead of liters?
Oh, that would drive them nuts. Celsius to Fahrenheit. Oh,
the Canadians would have to transition though with their laws. It would take time.
Oh yeah,
obviously, it's not going to be an overnight thing. I think Greenland would be more of an overnight thing because there's only about 60,000 people there.
Yeah, I've never been to Canada, but Vancouver's a melting pot. When our son was in high school, he met a lot of people that got transferred from British Columbia, Vancouver, to Pennsylvania because of IKEA. And the people were just happy to get out of that country. They liked it, but they didn't like all the restrictions placed on the citizens.
Dude, can you imagine being an Amazon driver in Canada? Fuck that. Yeah, I'm up in I can't even begin to say that name.
You can be an Amazon driver now.
None of your business. I'm sorry, but like, can you imagine having a house up here and like expecting Amazon? Fuck that.
You can do Amazon packages now. There's an app just like DoorDash, and you can deliver. They give you a route, and you do it until it's done.
I know this. I'm just saying, can you imagine being the driver going through dirt roads, like out in the boonies? Like, fuck that.
Yeah, Karen Thompson. That's Hi, Karen. That's
a
a
lot of Ohio
good one.
dirt
It's like
roads.
Alabama. Alabama's really like the Canada of the South, if you really think about it.
I would have said more Mississippi more than Alabama.
Nah, it's pure Alabama right
Yeah,
there.
Alabama.
I find that hard to believe.
Just look at it, man.
Like-
Zoom
like-
in on it real good.
Okay,
Look at this.
okay. So hold on. I used to live up in here in Huntsville, Madison, Athens area. Okay, I specifically lived in Madison.
Sorry to hear that.
Shut up.
Yeah.
This part
What he
of
said.
Alabama is highly advanced and technologically speaking. Okay,
They got
specifically
a Taco
Huntsville.
Bell.
Okay, specifically Huntsville. Okay, the rest of Alabama I know nothing of,
Yeah,
and as far as I'm aware, is Dead Man's Land, like Hicksville. So, what you very well may be right on that.
so in Huntsville area, you're saying that they only date their third cousins.
More like their seventh, but okay.
Oh, there's people in Canada that think that that's okay too. I'm saying, I'm like, that is not okay.
See what I'm saying? I've already processed the data and theorized all this. Alabama's the Canada of the South.
There's a lot of manufacturing in Alabama for machinery.
See?
Still, I thought a lot of it went to Mexico.
Now, Lowry makes disc harrows, plows, they make mowers. You don't see that in the North Bushcraft. Even in North Carolina and Tennessee, there's a lot more farm implements made than there are in the North.
Same in Oklahoma. There's a lot of that stuff has
Karen
to be
Thompson,
shipped
is
up
that
to
supposed to be
Ohio.
a banjo? Oh Lord.
Just come on up here or down.
Up, down, left, right, whatever. Square, triangle.
Obtuse.
No, I was talking like entering old cheat codes, but
That's the
okay.
same Lowry's that makes Lowry seasoning.
No, they make disc harrows.
Oh fuck.
Oh.
Oh, I like
I just
Wow.
spun the earth. So anyway, here's Panama.
Oh yeah, we used to own it,
Nice.
Yeah. Until Carter got rid of it.
200 miles.
He sold it for $1.
Yeah. Like this is the Darien Gap right here. And literally the road ends right here. That's it. There is no road connecting it. Like this is all solid jungle.
Yeah.
This
China's
would
wanting
be our
us to fit the
equivalent of
bill
like
for the leaks.
I would just say that this would be our equivalent of the demilitarized zone in North Korea, if I had to take a guess.
It kind of it's getting that way because over there a little bit more there's Iran has a military base over there with actual naval base and military base right there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're that close.
All the more reason for us to take the Panama Canal, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, we should. Our prices would go way down on top of it because it's so expensive to go through there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we
LA
built it.
Shut down their the ports in LA. We had to go all the way around, and it cost like triple the amount.
Let me just put this into perspective. If we built the Panama Canal down here, change this to the Gulf of America, took Greenland, Canada, we would literally control half of the globe.
Well, yeah, and some people will even bring it back to the Bible about the 10 kingdoms, but I don't know.
No, I would.
Don't think so.
I'm gonna put my money on Magog and the war between Gog and Magog.
Magog.
Yeah, I would say, like, far future, this would be one nation state, if you will, or regional, and then like this half of the planet would be.
Well, we don't want Mexico to be part of the United States. Over 90% of the Mexican population would qualify for all the social programs, like welfare.
That's if those special programs even exist anymore.
Yeah.
Why the fuck is this so?
I'm sorry. Lot of cleaning up to do if Mexico became United States.
Oh, that's New Mexico. They want to change the name, I think.
Hold on. I'm sorry, but my brain is like getting sidetracked here. Why the fuck is this like a damn near perfect square? My brain.
It's like a rectangle.
Yeah. Fucking Google Earth. Dude. That's fucking nuts. Where is the meteor impact that used to be here?
It's the Gulf.
I thought it hit just off the coast of Mexico here, not
well,
out here.
That's where the Gulf is.
Duh.
Want to say hi?
Yeah, the one that wiped out the dinosaurs.
Supposedly.
Hey, Allie.
You might as well give up. One-on-one's not going to pay attention.
What?
See?
He was waving. And he hates me. He doesn't hate you.
I don't hate you people.
He just don't pay attention.
He didn't.
I don't.
They're like waving.
Like we'll put stuff in chat, and it's like it took him 30 minutes to realize that his mic wasn't working.
I knew it wasn't working. I was trying to fix it, damn it. Fuck you. And you shut up over there in the background.
She's laughing because it's kind of true.
Interesting.
Fuck you, what?
You know what? Today you are you. That is truer than true. There is no one alive who is youer than you.
What is he on about?
What the fuck did you just smoke?
Hashtag I can't believe it.
Exactly.
Where is this coming from?
It came from the heart. It came from the heart.
It came from Eric.
It came from the land of the bush.
Yeah, the bush people.
You damn tree people.
Bushwhackers.
Well, you remember once? Well, I actually did like three shows, and I named the morning show Morning Bush. I had some weird people show up in my lives in the morning.
Morning Bush, is that a girl's version of Morningwood?
So I'm like, oh, we have to come up with a different name.
Up with Morning Bush or something, or Bush. Yeah, it was weird.
And then Lake goes, whenever I go on crazy, she says, it's a crazy morning bush.
Yes.
A crazy bush show.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs largely was closer to the Yucatan Peninsula.
Yeah, over here.
You don't say.
You know what? What?
I wasn't alive back then.
We can always ask Jeff.
Yeah.
He's a month older than me.
There's where I got my vanilla beans.
Look at my flowers.
Madagascar.
I got flowers.
You know, people are kind of like freaking the fuck out about us like becoming part of, or Canada becoming part of us and all that. And like, what did Britain do back in the day? You know, Britain controlled a lot of things,
Oh yeah.
and that was not on a mutual agreement either. Like,
No.
so, like, conquering half the planet is not
And it's
like
not like we would take it.
right.
The British Empire.
For my Canadians in chat, would you say that Canadians would be for joining the United States? Y'all are a better judgment of y'all's people than me.
The ones that I talk to all say yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, is it just a bias here, or is it some people would prefer to just be Canadian?
I think once you're Canadian, you could always be Canadian, you know?
Well, yeah.
It would probably be like the state of Canada, or they would keep all their provinces.
I would say call it like I had a name for it.
Yeah,
It's
all
like
the
France,
provinces.
the citizen formerly known as Canadian.
Like the Canadian States of America. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, just make all the province their own states.
Come on, man.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't be a big state all the way across. Because that'd be just too much.
Right.
It's already divvied up. Just keep it that way and just
Right. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, don't make it confusing.
Right. Keep borders the way they fucking are, and just what you got 1, 2. What is Nova Scotia's part of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
New Brunswick.
Yep.
Yep.
Newfoundland. That's 1. So how many are there? What, 12?
Nobody really knows. They just keep popping up every now and then.
Isn't there like 7 or 8?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
13. Jerry says.
13. So that would take us from 50 states to 63. Holy fuck.
How would it affect the Electoral College is a big question.
That is interesting.
63. And then I would assume we'd make Greenland a state. Like, just make this a state.
Just leave it Greenland.
Just leave it Greenland.
Yeah.
He's moving to Greenland.
Remember that movie, Greenland? Makes sense.
Too cold for me.
Like, we would have 64 states if we want to be technical about it.
Okay, thank you, John Johnson. 10
What if Trump
provinces.
10
proposes?
provinces and 3
there you go.
territories.
What if he proposes changing the whole name of our country?
To
What would
what?
it be?
To something else?
Well, I mean, okay,
It's already America, North America.
right. The whole continent is literally us.
North America, yeah. And we're United States of America.
Now, do you notice on Google Maps it only says United States? Doesn't say of America.
We
You
could
know what?
become North American Empire.
Well, as
That
soon as
wouldn't
you
go
put,
over
in
good.
my opinion, as soon as you put empire on the title of a civilization, it tends to go downhill pretty quickly.
Exactly.
That's my whole point. Just like with Star Wars.
Like, no, I was thinking more like Rome.
Okay.
Or,
Well, Germany.
yeah, like empire sounds too authoritarian to me.
What are you doing?
I would not be for that. Roxanne says Trump wants Mexico too.
I think we got to give California to Mexico.
I thought they wanted to rename New Mexico. We already own.
How many fucking Mexicos do we need, man?
Well, I think
At
the
least 3.
whole thing with the Mexico thing kind of went. It was the Gulf of Mexico, and then it went to New Mexico, and then Mexico,
Why are we throwing New Mexico in this? Like,
That's why I said it started with Trump says he's going to rename the Gulf of Mexico, and then it kind of jumped over to New Mexico.
I mean, if they wanted to rename like a bunch of the football teams,
rename the Gulf of New Mexico?
No, Gulf of America.
Gulf of America, and then New Mexico, America already owns.
Right.
So just rename that, I guess.
Why would New America?
Yeah, I think it's one of those bleed off things that starts at a little hill and then
yeah, I would say rename it Gulf of America because technically we're the strongest superpower to control this. I would throw Cuba in as a state officially, not just a territory, honestly. And fuck their leadership over and start bringing up their economy. Because if we're talking like Bahamas and shit, like that would be prime real estate. Like if we want to talk big changes here, I think that would be on the table.
We could expand the NFL and have more teams in Canada.
I think they're good with their hockey, dude.
And how will this affect the NHL?
I don't think it would affect very much because don't we play Canadians?
Yeah.
In the NHL, so like it doesn't affect it at all.
It's the national.
Oh, we're playing a game of Risk.
Oh, by the way, did you hear that Wayne Gretzky wanted to run for Parliament or something up in Canada or something? I heard they were urging him to become a congressman.
Oh, really?
Or a representative of something. Like some big wig. It's funny. Like my neighbor's dog is named Gretzky because of Wayne Gretzky. Anne says, no, he did not. Okay, that's fine. That's just a rumor. I'm just confirming.
No, Grace said that Trump offered it and he said no. And I agree.
Oh, is that what's going on? Okay. Go research what President George Bush did back into the 80s, the highway from Mexico to Canada, and no tariffs. Behind the scenes, already did this.
But there's two sides of the coin. Some people think if Trump would be successful doing this is part of the, new NWO.
I'm much rather have the United States be in charge of the New World Order than fucking the rest of the world.
Yep.
Because if you want to standardize the standard of living to the standard of United States for the whole world, that's a hell of a lot better than dealing with the standard of living on the other side of the world.
You figure, you speak of standard of living, this country, we had the widest margin for the standard of living in the late 1950s and early 1960s. You figure, I remember when my parents got their first, washing machine. When I was a kid, my mother would go down the basement, wash clothing, and wring it out put it through a roller thing she had to turn. In other countries, I mean, we were so ahead of the world. Look what's happened in our lifetime.
Well, even the lowest of the low here in America are better off financially and economically than the rest of the world. Our homeless are more financially gifted than people of other countries.
It's because of all the government programs. We got to get these people to go back to work.
No, I'm not talking that. I'm talking.
We need them to go back to their own country.
Yeah.
How about just no world order, no new world order,
So, okay, here's a question. We want to deport all these illegals because they're taking jobs and shit. How would folding Canada into the fray work in terms of jobs and such? Do you think? Like, how much do you think that would affect our standing?
See, that's for the uh, Canadian people to, because I don't know. It's how is it easy to get a job in Canada?
I that's what I don't know. It's I'm
That
kind
that
of relying on my Canadian people to
yeah.
answer these things. Like, I would assume
Is
things
it
would.
getting better, or is it like, back in the uh, Obama time when it was real hard to get a job?
Right. I
I
would
still wouldn't
say,
have a hard time, but
if I had to take a guess, our economy would take off and then bring Canada into the fold. At which point, being that Canada is on literal life support, it can only get
mhm.
better for a job market in Canada, because if you live close to the Canadian border, or what used to be the border at that point, you can now apply for jobs across the border. Like, if we're going to bolster Detroit, down here, like, if you are suffering in London and Toronto and all that, going back and forth between these areas for work and shit, that that would help Canada tremendously.
And another thing is how many Canadians would leave and come down here?
Oh, I bet you a lot. Like, just for not dealing with the snow and the barren
Well,
wasteland that is.
I
yeah,
think it would
how
be.
many people from the United States would go up?
I think it would be a half and half thing. I think a lot of people would like to go back up into the trees,
Yeah,
and a lot of their Canada would like to maybe go to the cities
Well,
because, believe it or not, Canada has a lot of real left wing people just like we do. So they'll probably
yeah.
flood our freaking cities. It could be good and it could be bad. I'm just saying.
well, my thought is here. Okay, think of it like air pressure. Air pressure always wants to equalize. Okay, if you have a vacuum in one area and a overpressure in another, they want to equalize. So if it can be applied to people too. If you have more jobs down here, people are going to come down here. If you have more opportunity up here, people are going to go up here. So if we bring Canadians down and then we start to bolster Canada again and really make it into like what the United States is infrastructurally wise, build highways, uh, the whole 9 yards, more than what it is, the amount of jobs that would stimulate and bring to the forefront, things would eventually equalize. At least that's a theory.
Hey, PNW. Yeah. Like Roland says, the left wing in Ontario and Quebec and the lower because they suck like California. Well, not all
See,
Californians. Like
here's where I think I don't know if the okay, let me speak here. English words. Um Shut up over there.
that's you haven't met her yet. That's Nicolette. She's over here.
Whatever. Either way, I heard that. Um
Now you forgot what he's saying.
Now I forgot what I thank you, Bushcraft.
I could hear the blank in your brain.
Damn, my gears are grinding that loud.
101, Canada has a lot more uranium than the United States does
How do you know this?
because of the stock market.
Now I'm really concerned. Like, you're
Well,
investing in a
most of the
uranium.
uranium mined in the world comes from Canada. This could be used for nuclear reactors.
Oh, I remember what I was saying. You were talking about the left wing. I really do think that left-wing ideology is really starting to die out. And I don't think Canada honestly has the balls, at least the left wing, to say "fuck you, America," because we are becoming a massive powerhouse here with Trump coming into office.
They have more
So,
to gain than to lose.
right. I don't think they would disrupt the beneficial systems that would come into Canada just to get back at us.
There's a company called Cameco. Their stocks have doubled in the last 2 to 3 years because of uranium.
What was the name of that
And because
company?
of what happened with our uranium, this country
What was the name of that company?
Cameco, CAMECO.
Oh,
The stock is worth
not what I heard.
It depends on where you go, Anne. I mean, yes, USA has respect, ma'am and sir, and all those things, but also it depends on where you go.
I mean, no place is perfect. We're not gonna. Nobody's gonna get along everywhere. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
No, you're going to have to find your place if you, just like we would have to find our place in Canada side. Not everybody mixes well, no
I
matter
mean,
where you go.
we've done all this for Canada in terms of protecting its borders, being that we're up in the Arctic Circle, basically up here and shit.
There's
Um,
no perfect place on earth. I'll leave it at
No.
that.
We're buddy with Canada already, as left wing as they are.
No.
So the only thing you would be doing is getting rid of this imaginary line and making it easier for things to flow back and forth. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically just an invisible line.
You're keeping everything. You're getting rid of the bureaucracy that is this invisible line of what we call a border. Which, okay, you can pull the argument of, oh, we don't want open borders, but now we do. Yeah, like, no, it's totally fucking different. I'm sorry.
Right. There is a lot of stipulations, though. There's certain things that you can't bring over to Canada and things that can't come back over. I don't remember.
But I think if we got rid of the border, I don't think that would matter.
I think it would depend because it would kind of go to the States. You know what I'm saying?
I would want my maple syrup either way.
And 101 Ann Garvey is right. There's a lot of gold in Canada. And then you got to remember, a lot of Canada hasn't been open to mining because of all the regulations. Who knows how much gold, uranium could be up there?
Well, that's what I'm saying is if we unlock Canada infrastructurally, not take their resources, but bolster them as a country, or next United States, if you will. That's massive. Untapped potential is what I'm saying.
I would want, like because Canada has spots to where man can't go, build stuff and buildings, and
so does the Adirondacks.
Yeah, that I'd want that to stay the same.
Me too.
Which it wouldn't be up to me or anybody else, but
I mean, if you want to start like marking things as national parks, like that's fine.
Well, they already have.
No. Like Canada's forest should be protected the way the Adirondacks is.
Yeah,
they have a special kind of protection.
Well, I find that kind of bureaucratic, honestly. If we need the wood, I would take the wood.
Really, because people would fight you up here for that because you like to breathe, because we do.
Okay, my point though is even Trump said we have so much untapped forests that we don't need their lumber. So leave it as is. What I'm saying though is if we ever needed it in the thousands of years down the road, it's there.
Oh, Canada logs.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. What I'm saying is Look at how much greener Canada is than the United States because of all the untapped forest.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah. What I'm
As a
saying
world.
is having it at our disposal, just sitting in the wings, is a massive advantage as is.
I wouldn't touch it.
Well, whether we touch it or not, it just having it there. It's like, I guess you could say, a security thing, you know? It's like having money in your bank account. You don't necessarily spend it, you just hold on to it. It's like a savings account, but for lumber.
Real maple syrup might go down in price.
Yeah. And okay, Canada, here's where I'm okay with the way Canada does things, with the whole banning of food additives and shit like that we've been poisoned with down here in America. If we adopt some of that shit down here, oh, that would change the way chemicals in food would be. Oh my God. I can't wait for that.
I think we would work well together.
I am all
JFK is going to do.
Yeah, I'm all for what JFK is doing with that. I've seen the Canadian Fruit Loops versus our Fruit Loops, and it's night and day, dude.
It's like the Fruit Loops I grew up with.
Yeah, back in the
even the healthy, the so-called healthy cereal has tons of sugar in it.
Wonder what kind of fish is in the Hudson Bay.
It depends on where. A bay.
Well,
it depends on what part of the Hudson. Like Hudson Bay is towards New York City. See, way up here, closer to Canada, that's the cleanest of the Hudson. The further you go down to cities, it gets really gross. It's not. You can't even fish. You can't eat the fish.
It's like the creeks are around here, like.
I don't know. It'd be nice to take a vacation up in Canada.
You can do that now.
I don't want to deal with the border crossing passport bullshit.
It's not a big deal.
Fly over it.
Flying over it is... You don't understand what I mean by a vacation. I'm talking like go bag, gun, everything. Like not have to worry about Second Amendment, my rights, and all this other fucking paperwork you got to do and bureaucratic crap, you know? It's not, you know what I mean? I want to freely move across the borders of Canada and not have to worry about papers, please, because the Queen and Britain don't like that shit.
It could be the North America Union.
That's another thing. What would Britain have to say about this? Us taking.
Who cares?
Well, doesn't Britain have an influence over Canada?
Yeah.
And don't you think they went out from underneath that?
We can have a whole new currency 101. Have a whole new currency. Get away from the central bank, Federal Reserve.
What were you saying, like?
I said the British had a lot over us too, but look what happened.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they could have.
I would have to learn French.
They would have more rights for definite. Definitely, they would have more rights. But
yeah,
it's like New York and New York City. We have separate laws in the city. Things that are allowed up here aren't allowed in the city.
Like the gun.
I mean that'll change. We actually have Second Amendment laws being passed in the Senate right now, saying that all states have to have reciprocity. If you have your license in, like, let's say Michigan, I can go to New York, carry, and they can't stop me because I have my license, and they have to recognize it just like they recognize a driver's license.
Exactly.
Just like in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, they don't care if you have a concealed carry permit in Montgomery County.
I know things would change like from area to area, but I really do think this would be beneficial for both parties, personally.
Yep.
And it would just, I think it's just more freedom across the board.
Yeah.
More good things. I see more good things than bad things, really.
It's a seesaw.
I don't know if it's a seesaw more than it is a, I just hope we wouldn't become like the EU.
Well, I'm glad 101 is not controlling the world right now because it's daytime, nighttime, daytime, nighttime.
Whee!
JB
Go
Walter.
back and forth.
If I spin it fast enough, do we go back in time?
101. JB Walter says 101. You sound good. You've been missed.
I'm surprised I sound good considering how much I've been stuffed up lately, but thank you.
Jeff, watch your words.
Jeff Spooks?
Okay, let's start the bed off at $100. Do I hear 110?
110.
Bed.
Oh, I have a recording of you from
He's trying to get
Bushcraft.
you to bed.
101. I sent you a recording from Bushcrafts live earlier.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. It's on your phone. You can play it.
Yes, I heard it. I didn't play it yet. I haven't looked at it.
Oh.
I heard the notification though.
You figure the EU has that VAT fee, it's like 17 or 18% on everything they sell.
I thought the notification was Jeff bugging me about something, so I ignored it. Sorry, Jeff.
This recording will not be going up on the YouTube. Not on my channel.
I don't think 101's for sale, anybody in chat.
I don't know.
Is that human Are y'all trying to human traffic me on YouTube? What the fuck?
Ouch, words. We were trying to auction off you and Bushcraft, and I think Bushcraft won by a beard.
A beard.
Do you remember that?
Beard.
Yeah. We were auctioning you two off, and Bushcraft won by a beard.
Cheryl Rich, I don't think 101 really has time to do it every night anymore.
I really don't.
Or the energy.
Like, well, yeah, more the energy than. I have the willpower. I just don't have the energy. Like I want to, but at the same time, I know what happens when I go 6 months without a break.
Right.
Fuck it. God, I don't know how the fuck I did it.
I don't know how a lot of us did what we did.
I'm glad this shit's almost over, though. Like, me not.
Be over.
Well,
We
it's
gotta
calmed down. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
Just wait.
Wait.
Hold my coffee.
Hold my beer. It's not. We've reached a point where I don't have to explain every little fucking thing to y'all. And y'all are awake enough to look at shit for what it is, which that was my ultimate goal in the first place.
Anne says prepping, we need truckers very much in Canada, and so many from another country, sadly. Yeah.
I would have thought Canada had a lot of truckers.
And their ports need help too.
Truckers hate Connie. Yeah.
And the train, yeah. Mel, go down the line.
If our infrastructure is going down the toilet, China has a better infrastructure than we do. High-speed trains. Japan's had it for decades.
Like, I don't see really that many roads.
What does Watt think of all this?
Yeah, you've been quiet down there, dude. What the hell?
I'm just taking it all in.
Yeah, like, there's the transit highways, like there ain't hardly anything going into Canada. That's pretty bad, actually.
It would probably be cheaper to build new roads in Canada because of all the stone they got up there like a quarry versus down here. There, the price of stone, just stone for the driveway, has doubled in the last 4 years.
Harvest.
Oh yeah, it's so expensive for gravel and limestone and all that. Ooh.
Just two beach stones, $22 a ton. 4 years ago, it was about $9.
We've got more limestone than we know what to do with here.
And it's the cost of hauling it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Around here, almost all the quarries have gotten to the point they can't dig any deeper because they've expanded as deep as they can go.
I put the map on Street View. Look at this shit.
What are you looking at?
Yeah,
all these blue lines are where you can put your Street View icon.
Oh.
Yeah, it shows the population density centers.
Jeez. That's nuts up there.
I don't know, but I'm seeing a lot less infrastructure up in Canada than I am the United States.
Well, it may not show it all because you're not there. Like if somebody in Canada did the same thing, they may see it differently.
Well, I mean, just up in here alone, I mean, granted, this is
they're not allowed to be. They're not allowed to roads.
Why?
Well, look at New York. You see New York? You see that big round patch with a little tail? Looks like a stingray. You can't touch it.
Why?
He just did. He rubbed his mouse over it.
Oh, I know. I saw him nubbing it.
Nubbing it? What the fuck is wrong? Anyway, let's get rid of this. There we go.
And I think it should stay that way. I don't want no concrete jungle.
No, but having access roads at least, you know.
That's why, like, well, okay, you come cut to the Adirondacks. I mean, you're not going to have access roads everywhere. You know what I mean? There's a reason for that. We don't want that.
I don't know.
We don't want that. We don't need that. The earth and its entirely.
I mean, call me an explorer or whatever, but like, I just want to go see that shit. That's
you
all.
can and enjoy its beauty without all the craziness. I mean, you can use roads. Some of them might be dirt, but you can drive. You didn't soup up that truck for concrete all the time, did you?
No.
Are you going to get it dirty?
It already is.
All right. That's what mud flaps are for. You hose it down.
Speaking of which, I need to get some mud flaps.
You're giving them ideas.
No, I was thinking that a couple months ago.
What's wrong with the old mud flaps?
They're plastic.
Okay.
And they screw with my clearance. Like,
yeah. Park the truck and get out and walk. It's beautiful. That's right, K9.
Yeah, I'm going to just walk up into the Canadian wilderness and then never come back because I got eaten by a fucking polar bear.
We don't have polar bears.
That was the point of me saying that. I know they don't.
Oh, gosh. My brother, he comes out the other day and he's just like, there was a moose staring at him.
I mean, they have moose in Canada, so like,
yes,
I'd be more worried about a moose.
Oh, moose are mean.
I come back from the wilderness riding a moose.
I like moose and beer.
They still make that?
Yeah.
Oh.
And Budweiser ruined Labatt by buying them out. Labatt used to have so many beers.
Polar bears up in territorial.
I hate when Budweiser buys out.
Oh, they do have. They do have polar bears up near Hudson Bay, they're saying. Country humans and...
Every time I hear the name Hudson Bay, I always think of the Rudolph special with Yukon Cornelius. Sorry, did I interrupt you?
No.
Oh. The way you sighed was like, fuck these people.
I was earlier when I was talking about Hudson Bay, there's different like Hudsons. I was thinking of Hudson Bay earlier, like New York City, the Bay of the Hudson, like where it goes into the ocean. And I just realized myself when we were talking about Hudson Bay earlier, it was up in Canada. So my apologies.
Look at the air quality.
Where's
in the
that?
A lot of people could get, it would help the economy in Canada. Put some high-speed train lines in for commerce. You figure there's a lot of stuff sold in Canada that doesn't make its way to the U.S.
Doesn't Canada have a railway that you can take a vacation on that is like a week long or something? It's a real old train from like the 50s.
Oh yeah.
Everything's old up there. They haven't rebuilt their infrastructure, and we're not much better down here.
I'm being facetious.
Yeah, it's an old steam engine. Well, at least it used to be. I don't know if it's still there or not.
It's not much better than what they had at Petticoat Junction.
Petticoat Junction. Oh God.
My son's been all over the world, and you get into rural Canada 101, it's like it's wilderness. There's not much to do.
I'm not looking for shit to do. I'm looking to see the world. Like actually, like with untouched. You know. I mean, well, when I say untouched, I'm talking like obviously there's access to it, but rarely do I get a chance to see wilderness.
He wants to touch the untouchable.
He's like, look, I'm gonna touch the button.
I'm trying to talk around that without y'all making a joke about it. God.
So what you're saying is that you want to leave your tracks in the Adirondacks.
I mean, if that means I can enjoy the wilderness without people for a little while, yeah.
We'll drop you right off there in the middle.
No, I'd like to have access to go back.
Towns,
I didn't say I wanted to leave forever.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be eaten by a polar bear.
Fucking Sasquatch.
You have a backpack 101 to go hiking, camping?
Yes.
Okay.
He's done his backpacks on here. Like go Diego go.
Hey, Harvest Mary Man.
Flashlight.
Y'all just fucking like degrade me down to a illegal?
No. I'll take you to the woods.
Take me out behind the woodshed?
Yeah, sure, why not?
I saw a video of it was a channel that does nostalgia like stuff from the 90s, and they were doing a review of like Dora the Explorer, and the guy's like, this bitch is going around Mexico with a talking map. Really? You have some nerve. You have a talking map in your backpack. Cash in on that shit.
I don't consider the 90s nostalgia. That was only 30 years ago.
You gotta remember, I'm 30 years old.
I know. It's all relativity.
Yeah, I just heard yesterday songs that are turning 30 years old, and I was like, what? It seems like they're only like 10 years old.
Yeah.
God. You ever see those videos where they're like, when you picture 30 years ago, you think like 1970, when really 30 years ago was 1990s? Like you don't realize how old you're getting?
Yep. I asked my wife today, do I look like I've aged a lot in the last year?
Not really, Jim. Really, in the last 5 years, you haven't looked any different.
Well, I left Bushcraft show early because my wife's brother is in hospice care right now, and he, unresponsive. Things have gone downhill after Christmas. What are you
Tasha
gonna do?
says I'm still a baby. Yeah, no. My knees. Fuck. You see, I have knee pain. I am not a baby.
Awesome.
What did you just say?
Well, the 90s were good and they were bad. This country opened the doors to too many bad things in the 90s.
You just continues the conversation like he doesn't pick up on what you just said. Oh my god. I'm sorry, Jim. That was too funny. I'll be right back. Fuck me.
Well, the country sure has changed a lot since the 90s.
Yeah.
And the music was better in the 70s.
I like 70s.
80s. I love the 80s music.
80s is good too.
Yeah.
I got a question. How old is your beard, Bushcraft?
My who?
What?
How old is your beard?
What? 3-4 years old?
You've had that beard for 34 years.
No,
No.
3 or 4 years old.
Oh, okay.
4 years ago, he had a beard. I mean,
it was
okay.
a little short.
longer than that. It was shorter though, kind of like the way Bigfoot keeps his.
Yeah.
But
I never let facial hair grow very long.
his beard has gotten long in the past few years.
I've actually cut it off a few times too.
Yeah, you have, but your hair is almost as long as my hair in the back. We never did measure it. His beard is really long.
Is remote viewer in chat? Somebody mentioned his name.
Who?
I haven't seen Remote for a while.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while.
I don't see him, but I haven't. I saw somebody asking something, but maybe they think that you are because of the beard.
Yeah, Harvest Mary Moon. I think the economy. Some people, because I'm really into the stock market. Okay, all the quantum computer stocks tanked because of Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, saying it's going to be 10 years. Stuff's going to go down, but look at it like this: it's going to be a buyer's opportunity. NVIDIA is going to go down, and then it's going to go up again. The economy is worse than what they're telling us because the numbers aren't being. Unemployment's way higher than what it is. I'll give you an example. An Icon in Philadelphia, where Macy's is, that used to be the old Gimbels or Wanamaker's department store. Macy's announced they were closing the store in Philadelphia. Macy's is going to be closing a lot of stores. We hear on TV, oh, the Christmas sales were better than last year. Well, if they were so much better than last year, why are all these stores going to close? Walgreens, CVS are going to close stores.
Big Lots is closing.
Yeah.
We had one for less than a year, and it's gone already.
Well, the Big Lots around here was better probably 10 years ago. It's gone down the toilet.
I never even heard of the place until it came here for like about 6-7 months, and it was gone.
Well, you didn't see it when you came down here?
No, I've never been. I've never seen it when we came down there either.
Well, you got Walgreens, the drugstore, and then they're owned by Walgreens Boots, but the stock is different. But Walgreens Boots is doing good because of where they have other investments.
Well, Rite Aid went under too, so.
Yeah.
We have a Walgreens. I've been in there once. I don't see what the big deal. I don't even know why it came. Like we already.
Their prices are a lot higher.
Yeah, they're wicked high. I don't even know why.
CVS is a pain in the ass in terms of prices.
It's going to help. Walmart's going to become the pharmacy giant. Like whenever I go to the one Walmart.
Go ahead.
No, Walmart's taken over the pharmacy industry.
Half the time, Walmart's pharmacy ain't ever open when I'm in.
Well, half of the pharmaceuticals are illegal right now. They're uncovering more and more of that. So that's going to have to get fixed.
All I gotta say is I can't wait for JFK Jr. to go to work, man. He's gonna fucking destroy that shit.
RFK Jr. Yeah, this country, you figure this all started during the Clinton days. Okay, companies they got tax credit for outsourcing. And, this goes from every president was for this until Trump came in. Why give a company tax credits for laying off Americans and having all the pharmaceuticals made in China?
You should see all the current shortages for prescription drugs. It's
crazy.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's going
there's like for certain things, if something does break out, there isn't enough made to like 2% of the population.
It's sad.
Well, the other thing is too, I think I was saying that on somebody's show. Okay, beta carotene. None of the drugstores have beta carotene. I finally found it in stock at the grocery outlet. You probably don't have any of those chains up there.
You have to be careful with that. Make sure it's not synthetic stuff.
Anyway, I think I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down here because it's cold in this fucking room. And
where's your heater? Where's your little heater?
It's here. It's just on the fritz because I have my good one at work where it's freezing. So I'm using the junkie.
Way this wall is right here. It's like 30 degrees colder behind me.
Yeah, Grace says you need a blankie. She'll crochet you one.
My furnace is
I got plenty of it. It's just I'm not going to sit here huddled up.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's probably why your knees are hurting, because the cold got to him.
Does 101 have his thermal long underwear on?
Why are you curious about my underwear, Jim?
I'll tell you, I'm wearing them because of taking the dog out. And if
they're fashionable with his knee pads.
Oh God.
When I get down in the basement to lift weights 4 days a week, it's like a nice box down there.
The one time I let you back up on my stream, Lake, I swear to God. I'm kidding.
I know we talk all the time, but I've missed it.
I'm glad to talk to you, Lake. Really am.
Yeah, it's good talking with you too. And it's good talking with Bush and Watt.
What's the quiet though?
I get to talk to you guys a lot.
I can talk everyone to death, probably.
It's fun though.
I've got so much to say in so many areas. One good thing, my sister I used to be partners with, she is finally realizing everything I told her 3 years ago, 4 years ago was true. She's coming around.
I'm gonna say hi.
The difference between conspiracy theory and truth is about 6 months.
It depends.
PR wants to know if there's
depending on how big of a conspiracy it is.
Well, I was going to say it could be 9 months.
No, in our case, it's been 9 years. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. And the fuck is going overhead? Y'all hear that shit?
I'm wondering why you have a butt flap in your... Is there a rear flap?
What?
ER wants to know if there's a rear flap in your little long johns.
Oh, fuck.
They don't have rear flaps for juniors.
Piss off.
I thought they did because of the outhouse.
I don't know.
Oh.
Anyway.
I've never bought
Because
long johns as a kid, so.
So according to Jeff, I get the most traffic during Sunday, so I will plan on being here Sunday night. Now, whether or not that happens, I don't know. It depends on how I fucking feel after this snowstorm.
Well,
so,
if you
plan
go
on me being here next month.
You were going to go last weekend, but you didn't. I'm sure something came up.
If you go on Sunday, we won't be here. We got Bible, or we got church and then Bible stuff.
I I understand y'all got your shit. That's fine.
Hey.
In other words, not that it is
I
shit,
know.
but that you have shit to do.
I know what you meant.
Okay. Anyway, I'm tired. Y'all have a good night. 101.
Out.
Out.
Damn it, Jeff.
Good night, everybody.